Hi, folks. It's Dr. Carla. It's Thursday afternoon, and I just thought I'd do a really quick little explainer for you because I've been fielding a lot of inquiries about people who are interested in either joining PACFA or who are already PACFA members and would like to join CCET, the College of Creative and Experiential Therapies. So I'm just going to show you a couple of things on my share screen and talk you through a couple of really quick things. So this is the PACFA homepage, as you can see. And if you go up to the toolbar, you go up to become a member and you go join. And there's a number of different membership options. So essentially, if you've completed your studies in the last 2 years, you count as a new graduate and you'll join using this level. And then if you finished your studies more than 2 years ago, but you haven't yet done 750 hours of client contact practice, then you join as certified practicing. And if you completed your studies more than 2 years ago and you've done more than 750 hours of client contact hours, you'll join as registered clinical. So you can click in this page on any of those levels and read about the pathway. I'll just maybe quickly show you one. Let's say the new grad. Where do we click? Learn more. Here we go. So now they've actually updated this and it's a lot more user-friendly now. So there are accredited training tracks, but as yet, none of the creative arts therapy training providers have gotten their courses accredited by PACFA. And so PACFA is not responsible for who gets their courses accredited. That's done by the training providers themselves. Okay, so the best way to get your training provider to get their course accredited is to ask them to do that. We can't do it for them. So you'll be applying through the general track. And so it's got a checklist up here that you can have a look at. And it tells you what the qualification requirements are, what your course needs to have covered. And then it tells you the documents that you need to put together. So I would have a read of that and use this as a checklist, make a folder with all of your documents in it, and then you're ready to submit your application. That's my first tip. So secondly, for people who are interested in becoming a member of CCET, so you go up to About Us, and in the About Us tab, you'll scroll down and you'll see the College of Creative and Experiential Therapies. And so when you click on this page, you'll find all of these membership resources. And what I'm going to talk you through here really quickly is the membership statement and criteria. So that tells you a bit about who we are, a little bit about creative process and experiential ways of knowing, our values, knowing and knowledge, attitudes. Then we've got the capabilities, which are our skills and abilities that are on top of the general counselling capabilities that you will have already demonstrated because you're already a PACFA member by the time you come and apply for CCET membership. So these are the specialist capabilities, skills and abilities that qualify you as a specialist in creative and experiential therapies under the broader umbrella of PACFA within the psychotherapy and counselling workforce. So you can have a look at those. And then when you want to join, this is what you'll be needing to fill in. And these resources are on our webpage in the tabs. So there's two appendixes. One's the capabilities matrix, one's the qualifications and training waiting table. Now, we've been told that the forms are a bit overwhelming to look at because the information is so dense. And so we're working on new versions of these forms that are more spacious and a bit more visual and with slightly different instructions, but the content that you need to upload is the same. So until we've got our new forms up online in the new year, you can still apply using these forms. So I would suggest you start with Appendix 2, which is the qualifications and weighting table that's on the screen. And if you're already a member of another professional association that represents creative and or experiential therapists, then you need to have the full membership, so like the professional or full practitioner level membership. And if you've got that, and that's been current within the last 5 years, even if you've let it lapse or left, if it's been current within the last 5 years, you'll be able to get your 100 points just by attaching that certificate. So if you've got that, it does make this appendix really easy to fill in. You just have to put in that certificate. On the other hand, if you haven't had that, like if you're a new grad or you've come through a different pathway, then you need to show 100 points. And you can make up your 100 points in at least, you have to have points in at least 3 of these categories: education and training, practice hours, supervision hours, and professional development. But you can have points in 3 or 4, okay? So then you'll attach your certificates showing what kind of training you've got, and you can see they all accrue different kinds of points, and you do the same, attach documentation to show how many practice hours you've had. So that could be a letter from your employer or your logbook or that kind of thing. Same with supervision hours, logbooks, letters, whatever evidence that you've got to show how many supervision hours you've done, and any extra professional development. And so you'll add all of those things up and hopefully get up to 100 points. And if you're not quite at 100 points, it'll give you some ideas about how to get up to your 100 points. For example, do you just need 5 more points? Well, you can do 5 more hours of supervision, for example. Okay, or you might be able to do some extra professional development and get some extra points that way. All right, so that's how you get your 100 points. Once you've got those and got the documents to show that you've got them together, then you come up here to the capabilities matrix. And what it's important for you to be aware of, you don't have to put information in both education and training and vocational experience. You only have to put information against or in one of these columns. You can do 2 if you really want, but you actually only need to put information in one. And what we've been finding, I haven't been sitting on the MAP assessment panel because all of the applications are all de-identified, and because I'm the liaison person, I'd probably be able to tell whose applications they are because I talk to so many people about their applications. So I'm not on the panel, but the feedback from the panel who look at the de-identified applications is that applications are often incomplete when people try to use their training from the course that they've done as evidence in this column. And that's because it requires you to put in your course code, the course title, attach the course outline, and then write an example of how the training in that subject or course matched this capability. And that's quite, it's quite a complex process to do all of that. So I'm recommending that if you're filling this in, that you use the vocational experience column and that you treat these capabilities as though they're selection criteria in a job application, and you refer to your own practice, your own experience when you're filling in this column here, and you give a short example or a vignette or a story of a moment when you applied or you demonstrated that you understand this capability and you applied it in your practice using creative and experiential approaches that are specific to creative and experiential therapies. That's really what the assessment panel want to see. So write that in the first person and give a specific example, not a broad sweeping statement, but an example of how you did it. Then the evidence that you would attach to support that, or what you'll write in here as the supporting evidence, is my curriculum vitae, my CV. Yeah, or it might be a letter of reference from an employer to show that you were employed in the position that you say you are here. So those examples from your real life practice are really strong and really valuable to the MAP. That's the membership assessment panel, the MAP. Okay, and then you go through and you do each one. It will take you some time. It is a job, but it's a professional registration and you've all made it through degrees. I'm sure that you can actually navigate that form. And I hope you do. We really look forward to welcoming you at CCET.